Hey everybody, I'm Tamara Beatty, voice and performance coach, and I'm talking about warm-ups today. I actually get asked a lot of questions about warm-ups, when to do them, how often to do them, how long to do them. It really differs depending upon what you need. And that's what I really want you to know is everything that I like to put together is based on what you actually need. What are you doing? Where are you at right now? How can we get you what you need versus heading over and finding sort of a whole bunch of random programs, 10-minute this, 15-minute this. It's great to have the right amount of time that you're looking for, but it's more important to know and have the right program that goes up to the spot that you want to go, that, doesn't tax your voice too much, but it taxes it enough. It actually, no matter what it is in there, it's preparing you to do what you're about to do. So some things that you might want to warm up for would be a show. You might want to warm up for recording, songwriting. If you're just, have a very demanding job on your voice, you might want to warm up for that. You might also just warm up for the heck of it, like to do a daily warm up, or you might actually warm up for practice. So you might be doing some training and you want to warm up before that, or, if you get right into training, it's too intense, so you want to do a warm up. So this is the way that I look at warm ups. I think it's very important to get the right things. But I want to back it up and just talk a little bit about why you're actually warming up. I think if you know that, it's a lot easier to pick the type of warm up that you need. Again, I really believe in customized warm ups, but this will help you understand how to pick. So I want to go over 3 reasons to warm up, or the 3 whys of warming up. So reason number 1 is to prepare your voice for the demands it's about to undertake. So if you're doing a show that's 2 hours long or 4 hours long or 1 hour long or 30 minutes long, and it's very demanding, mildly demanding, moderately demanding, all these factors go into play and give us hints about what type of warm-up you need. Again, there are so many warm-ups online. You can just go and I'll pick this one, and that one, but I can't tell you how many singers I see doing warm-ups, and it's really just an exercise in, I don't want to say futility, but sometimes it is, because you're just like using your voice. Now, actually, there are some benefits to just getting sound out of your voice, but a lot of times people are doing exercises that are too taxing. They're not doing them in the way that actually leads to a result. They're singing too lightly for the heavy demands that they're about to sing for. So if you don't have a proper warm-up, or you don't know how to go through a warm-up program, you might be wasting your time. I don't want you to waste your time. So one of the things we want to make sure of is, what are you about to embark upon? Is it very demanding? If so, we want to make sure that your warm-up inches into these spaces and gradually takes you there if you need, or gets you there quickly if it's not a big issue. So in addition to knowing how long you're going to be singing for and how you want to prep for that, you also want to know how strong you need to sing. Are you about to sing a whole bunch of belting songs? Are they in your high full voice range? Do they require you to go back and forth in between chest voice, head voice, all the different textures in your voice? And is your voice used to doing that, or does it take some time to get up to that? So you want to make sure that your warm-up has these components that allow you to be able to sing high and strong, or light, or with a lot of different style or a signature tone. So I really truly believe that having the right warm-up is very, very, very important. You'll hear me say that a lot, because that's a lot of what I do. I help create customized program for people so that you don't have to just randomly press play on random things, and you have a clear idea of what you're doing and you're warming up for a very specific purpose. If you are looking for warm-ups, I'll talk a little bit more about this later on, but I do have a whole Condition Your Voice workout pack, which basically has 4 warm-ups. It has a warm down and 4 training programs, because training and warming up are different. So that's something you can go ahead and check out if you think that's interesting to you. You can check the links below. But let's continue on with this idea of, why are we warming up? So number 1 is to prepare ourselves for the demands that we're about to embark upon. Now, we mostly talked about performance, but there's also going into the studio. You might have to sing takes over and over and over again. And you're going to want not only a warm up for that, you're going to want to be able to have like a relaxation program in between, something to reset your voice, to make it feel good in between multiple takes. And if you're about to songwrite, for example, you'll want to warm up as well. So these are things I'll talk about in other videos, but I'd like to move on to number 2 now and talk about the second reason, or the second why to warm up. And that is to reduce fatigue or prevent fatigue. So if we are doing number one and we're making sure that we're prepared for the demands, then that means that we're not going to put so many demands on our voice. Therefore, it's not going to fatigue as much. So that's one major correlation in between those two. But we definitely don't want to sing and then at the end of it, we have to rest forever. I've heard this thing on the internet a little bit about rest Mondays, how, you're working and gigging on the weekend and then people will take Monday off, Tuesday off because their voice is tired and sore. No, we definitely don't want that to be happening. If you're on tour, you can't do that. I work with professional singers. We can't afford to just, take days off. So if that's something that's happening to you, I'm not making light of it. I'm saying I want you to know that you can train your voice in a way that doesn't need it to be able to be so tired at the end of it. It's just mechanics. We want to make sure that we're singing efficiently. And warm-ups are one way to do that. And another way to do that are training programs to build up enough strength so that when you sing, you're not singing with so much demand or so much unnecessary demand or muscle tension in order for you to get the product you're looking to get. So sometimes in order for us to do what we want to do, we have to squeeze and tighten and use all these extra muscles or crutches in order to help us do that. And having our voice really fit and in shape can help take away a lot of that. But training programs, as I alluded to before, I believe are different than warm-ups. And in terms of warming up, that's one of the major reasons we do it. And that is to make sure that we are not putting our voice in a position of being fatigued. Now, there are things that you can do when you are fatigued. That's the management of fatigue. But really, let's just avoid it in the first place. A good and proper warm-up for you that's made for you, that you're doing in a way that works for you, that actually prepares you for what you're going to do. Because if you do warm up and you warm up really lightly or very purely, very cleanly, very far from what you're about to sing, and what you're about to sing is heavy, high, hard, strong, belty, then those two worlds don't really fit together very well. And it's not like the program you used was bad for you. It's just that it didn't really help prepare you. And so a lot of people do a warm up and they go, well, I'm not really feeling any better, or I had to wait 5 songs into my show, or I had to wait for my whole set to finish before I felt ready to sing. So if you're finding yourself saying things like that, then you might not have the right warm-up for you. And I think it's very important to have these tools in our kind of belt so that when you go ahead and you are going to be performing on stage, in the studio, you're going to be songwriting, you have the right warm-up that has the right length of time, but also the right level of demand so that you're ready to sing and sing your best. And actually, that takes me to number 3, the very third reason that we warm up. And maybe this reason is not talked about a lot, but it's so important. And that is so we don't have to think. When you're singing and you're thinking about pitch, you're thinking about, oh, I have to go from head voice to chest voice. I want to hit that note, but I don't know if I have it. If you haven't done the proper steps before, you aren't going to know if you've got the notes. You're not going to be sure if you're going to hit something. You can't tell if what's coming out of your mouth is going to be lining up with what you want. So I think you want to have 2 things. A, you want to have the fitness that you need to not have to think so much so that, you can trust your voice. You know what's coming out of it. You know what to expect from it. And secondly, you want to have a warm-up or a preparation plan, it doesn't have to be called a warm-up, that allows you to not have to think so hard when you get up there. Now, it is true that when you train, you might have to be thinking, but when you're warming up, it's so specific. And after you've done it a few times, it should be something you press play, you realize you might need a little bit more after, you know what to do. You know when you can make it shorter, you know when you can make it longer. To me, this makes you a really smart, intuitive singer and allows you to get what you need to deliver how you want to deliver. So if you've got the warm-up that allows you to bridge the gap between however your voice feels now and how it needs to feel for when you step up on stage or the studio or go songwriting, then you're not going to be thinking as much. You're going to know what's going to be coming out of your mouth a lot more than if you're not prepared. If it's just sort of random and it comes out and that's not a spot most singers like to be in. Now, we have to consider personalities. Some people don't care as much, other people care more. It really doesn't matter what other people do or think. It matters what you need. And getting what you need is my primary aim. So if you are finding that what you're doing isn't working for you, or maybe you don't have a warm-up, or the one you're doing isn't quite working for you, really try and consider that these are the main 3 reasons for warming up. So you feel motivated to do something that works for you and actually prepare you for what you're about to do. You want to make sure that it prepares you for the demands, that you don't fatigue, and you don't fatigue after the warm-up program, and you don't fatigue after you do all of your singing as a result of this great warm-up program and or preparation plan. And you also want to make sure that it helps you to not have to think so hard because you're more prepared. So for me, those are 3 really important reasons to do a warm-up. All right, take care. If you like these videos, please subscribe. That helps me a lot. Please let me know if you have certain videos or tutorials you'd like to see. And thanks so much for being here. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.